It's a long way to the top. If you want to rock and roll, you want to rock and roll? Driving on the highway, going to a show. Stopping on the byway, playing rock and roll. Getting round, getting stoned, getting beat up, throwing bone, getting high, getting shook. Watch all your folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's easy to do one night stands. Try being a rock and roll band. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
Good evening, race fans. I'm your host, Caden Rife, and welcome back to another installment of the 2006 season of the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series. We're down in Nashville. It's the Dr. Pepper 400 here tonight for race number 14 of 36 of this constant-going season. That was a terrible choice of words there. Nonetheless, we'll take you to the track for your starting lineup here from Nashville. Just under a mile and a half, the race length, or track length, of this race track and this 400-mile race. Starting on pole tonight, it's going to be Ryan Newman in the 12 with Jimmy McMurray in the 40. Starting on the front row along with him in second place. Third place, it'll be Ricky Hendrick in the 5, and Jason Leffler will be in 4th in the 00. Greg Biffle will be 5th, and Kurt Busch in the 6th position. Mark Martin will be P7 tonight, and Jimmy Johnson will start from 8th. That's your points leader. Right behind him in 9th, Robbie Gordon in the 31, second in points. Mike Bliss will be in 10th in the 81, and Elliott Sadler will start from 11th place. Bobby Labonte will be in P12, and Scott Wimmer, the 13th place car. Joining him in that row will be his teammate Sterling Marlin in 14th. Martin Truex Jr. will be starting in P15, side by side with another junior. It'll be Dale Jr. in 16th place. Kevin Harvick will be P17, and Jack Sprague in the 18th spot. Jason Keller will be starting from 19th in the 99, and Casey Kane will be in 20th. Scott Riggs in 21st place, and Matt Kenseth will be in the 22nd spot. Eric Norris will be 23rd, and Brian Vickers 24th. Jeff Gordon will be starting from P25, and Tony Stewart will be 26th. Last week's winner Kyle Busch in 27th, and Casey Atwood in 28th. 29th will be Christian Elder in the 0, and John Wood will be in 30th place. Regan Smith 31st, and Clint Boyer P32. Jeremy Mayfield will be in 33rd, side by side with Carl Edwards in 34th. Ricky Rudd starts 35th, and John Andretti in the 36th spot. 37th will be Johnny Sauter in the 68, and Todd Bodine in 38th place. 39th will be Ron Hornaday Jr., and 40th, Robert Presley. Rounding out the field in the final row, it'll be Jeff Fulton for 41st in the 50 car, and 42nd belongs to Tim Fadua in the 37. All set to go here as we take you to the track for the most famous words in motorsports, the command, here from Nashville.
Drivers, to your cars.
That's the wrong word. I didn't even accelerate. God, we're off to a rough start here, but nonetheless, let's get that sorted out for you real quick.
Drivers, start your engines!
Technical difficulties aside, get this race underway as the field of 42 stock cars roars to life and rolls off of the starting grid in the pit lane. 102 laps is your race length tonight here from Nashville, and as always, things to expect going into today's race as we get set to go under the lights. Nashville, always a racetrack that you usually see the field spread out a lot. It's usually a bit of skill disparity and pace disparity at this racetrack. And we usually see these guys get a long way apart from each other over the course of the race. A lot of gaps between the drivers. The couple race leaders usually break a long way away from the rest of the field, but expect a lot of tight battling early in the running in this race. And see our race's fastest drivers emerge from this field early in the showing. Usually it's the guys who start up front that stay up front, but nonetheless, a lot yet to come, and things to break expectations could be seen. Pace car peels off on the left. Ryan Newman in the 12 will lead the field to the green flag here from Nashville in the Dr. Pepper 400, and we are underway. Early caution flag flies. Saw Carl Edwards in the back end of the frame get spun around there. And that will bring out a caution as more wrecking up front, and Jimmy Johnson, the points leader, is in it. Jeff Gordon also involved. Big wreck after the flag. And we have ourselves our first caution, and a consequential first caution. Leaders take the yellow flag. And what a weird situation as they wrecked there off of turn number 4. That was Carl Edwards in the back of the frame. They got spun around, and Jimmy Johnson, the points leader, is in the wreck in turn 1. Continued from that one, so Carl Edwards goes for a spin on the front stretch. Got to look back at this. Just looking like 3 wide here at the very back of the field. And man, Todd Bodine just went right up into the 97 there. Kind of overdrove the corner. Might have misjudged that gap. And ended up getting into the left rear of Edwards, turned him back down into Fadewa, and Carl goes for a spin, big piece of the wall for the 77, and obviously we saw a wreck further up here. Sounded like someone got the wall further up front. Yes, indeed. We saw 3 wide there, and Jimmy Johnson getting squeezed into. Looks like Wimmer and Elliott Sadler made contact after the flag, and pandemonium took place. Jeff Gordon gets spun. Christian Elder, Kyle Busch, last week's winner, is in it. Regan Smith and Matt Kenseth go for a slide through the grass, managed to save it. But a big accident under caution. Jeff Gordon out of the race. Jimmy Johnson, the 48, with heavy damage as well. First big hiccup of the season for the Lowe's machine. And he's got himself a lot of damage after that accident. He will get that car repaired to the best of his abilities, but a lot of damage on the back end. Elliott Sadler still in the pits as well. Todd Bodine just got away. And a lot of cars involved in that early set of accidents. Takes Jimmy Johnson out, takes Jeff Gordon out, Carl Edwards into the wall there, and a lot of others involved in that accident. But Ryan Newman holds on to the lead after just 2 laps of green flag action. Lap number 5, we'll take an intermission here from Nashville with the 12 in the lead. Back from intermission here at Nashville, and we are going to get right to green as Ryan Newman leads the field to the green flag. Top 5 goes him, Hendrick, Biffle, Gordon, and then behind him is Jamie McMurray in the 40. And contact right behind, that was Harvick and Truex getting together. They managed to hold on to it. A lot of early contact here in this race. Greg Biffle will duck underneath Ricky Hendrick for second place. Can't quite make that move stick. Everybody sorts it out. Clint Boyer went into the pits there and is a couple of laps down in the 4 car. He's down 2. Had some issues under the caution and had to come back into the pits. Ryan Newman leads this race. Lap number 8 that we are on right now. Pulling away a little bit from second place, Ricky Hendrick, who is still under fire from the 16 of Greg Biffle. And 68 of Johnny Sauter now pulls into the pits, and Elliott Sadler as well. 2 damaged cars, I believe, looking to finish their repairs. So a couple more cars will fall some laps down. Biffle moves into second, but he is under attack from Robbie Gordon in the 31 car now. '77 is another car that hadn't finished repairs, also comes in. Eric Norris. A lot of damaged cars in the pits. Robbie Gordon moves into second place, exactly where Jimmy Johnson doesn't want him to be. That's his championship rival early in the season. Up there towards the front of the field. Johnson back outside the top 30 with that damage from the early crash. Elliott Sadler rejoins the racetrack right with the leaders. He'll be 2 laps down. Settles in next to Biffle in the 16. Everybody else getting going as well. Here is the battle for the lead. Ryan Newman and Robbie Gordon fight for first into turn number 1. And Gordon makes quick work of the 12, and he is into the race lead. 77 of Bahrain joins the racetrack now. Elliott Sadler almost took it 3 wide. 3 Pontiacs right in one spot here. Newman having to deal with the lap traffic. Four cars in the pits again. Might have to see some retirements here as these guys are struggling to get their cars fixed up all the way. Boyer gets back on the track once more. Couple of lap cars fighting for what I believe would be Lucky Dog. Yes, it is. Sadler and Bodine fighting and holding everybody up behind Robbie Gordon, who is running away with the race lead. And 44 car is blowing up. That's Brian Vickers, and that is going to bring out another caution. Yellow flag flies. Robbie Gordon will lead the field back to the second caution of the night. Elliott Sadler will receive Lucky Dog here. And the caution is back out once again. Brian Vickers can't make it back to the pit lane, and that is going to be the end of his day. Smoke piling out of that 44 car. So another quick caution, and we'll see another round of pit stops as Robbie Gordon will lead the field into the pit lane. So Gordon in. Everybody to follow suit. 4 tires and fuel. for pretty much the whole field here. And Gordon will be away. And comfortably will have the race lead out of the pits. Lap cars in next. Elliott Sadler will receive the lucky dog. None of these guys are going to stay out to get the wave around. A couple of these guys are several laps down. Namely, the 4 is down 4 laps. And it's going to be 2 for the rest of these guys. Bringing intermission here from Nashville. Robbie Gordon in the 31, your race leader. Early in the running. Couple of cautions early. Taking plenty of drivers out of this race. We will be right back. Back from intermission here at Nashville as we take you back to the racetrack with Robbie Gordon in the 31 car in the lead. Top 5 is going to go Gordon, Hendrick, Kurt Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Kevin Harvick. In your top 5, McMurray, Mark Martin, Casey Kane, Truex Jr., and Leffler round out the rest of the top 10 as we are set to go green on lap number 20. Pace car will be in this time. Elliott Sadler, your lucky dog. As we go back to the restart. Green flag back in the air. Great jump by Ricky Hendrick trying to get to the outside of Robbie Gordon into turn 1. Couldn't get there. Tried to challenge for that lead. But he is right on the back bumper down the back stretch. Might have a chance to challenge here. Going to check if the 4 car is pitting again. The answer to that question is no. Hendrick looking to the inside towards turn 1, and he isn't going to get clear yet, but now has it. The pass made. I'm all over my words today. Ricky Hendrick into the race lead. 20 laps completed here from Nashville. Robbie Gordon still right behind in second place. Kurt Busch lurks in third. Fourth belonging to McMurray as he holds off Kevin Harvick for that position right now. A little higher though, and Harvick still right on the back bumper. Couldn't quite stay on the inside though. Top 3 have pulled away just a little bit. Big run by Gordon off of turn 2 that time, and he will look to the inside to try and retake the race lead. and slips right on past 31 back into first and left Ricky Hendrick behind there. Hendrick not having a car that looks very good on the outside right now. And Gordon rifles on past and left him in the dust. Hendrick lost 5/10 that lap. So it's Robbie Gordon back into first place. Kevin Harvick got past McMurray for fourth, who is now potentially under fire for fifth place by Casey Kane. Got his teammate Dale Jr. in seventh in line behind him. 3 wide back there for the last couple spots in the top 10. Bobby Labonte all the way on the bottom there, passing Mark Martin and Jason Leffler. And now Martin getting squeezed 3 wide again off of turn 2. Here's Ricky Rudd on the bottom of 3 wide. Martin really in a pickle, but managed to sort it out. Tony Stewart gets through in the middle lane. Big battle back there just outside the top 10. It's 13th for the 42 of Stewart now. Battle for second is between Kurt Busch and Ricky Hendrick. And Kevin Harvick into the mix as well. Hendrick finding a second breath on the outside, though, and gets straight back past Kurt Busch. Busch trying to block Harvick down to the bottom. That's for third place. Busch looking rather impatient with this 5 car right now, though. He appears to be faster, so does Harvick. And man, Hendrick covering off that bottom lane, and the caution is out again. Wrecking on the backstretch big time. I believe Jimmy Johnson might have gotten another piece of it. And we have another caution. Scott Riggs is involved. Matt Kenseth might have gotten a piece. Eric Norris, Regan Smith. And we have our third caution of the night. Yellow flag is out. And we'll get a look at this accident on the backstretch involving a couple of teammates. It looks like Newman just got real sideways in front of the 2, and Regan Smith evidently tried to take advantage of it. So did Riggs, and Smith sideswiped the 57, who took him 3 wide in the middle. And man, Newman up and into the air. Got way up on top of the wall there. Almost went nose first into the catch fence. Saw Christian Elder way in the grass there. All over the place, but managed to find a gap to get back on the racetrack in front of everybody. So it was a Penske clean out there, as Bodine also got a part of the accident. Man, Elliott Sadler slipping through there. Lucky for him, because that'll put him back on the lead lap thanks to that amazing wreck avoidance by him. Absolutely outstanding. Right through the gap. Pandemonium ensues behind. See if Jimmy Johnson got a piece of that one as well. Important to note on him, given that he is, of course, the points leader. And he did. Once again, Johnson involved in another accident, and he's on the pit lane for good reason early. So caution comes back out. It'll be Gordon leading the field into the pits once more. Elliott Sadler will be the lucky dog. My goodness. Field comes back on in. And here's Robbie Gordon into his pit box here on the left in just a moment. Another race off of pit road yet to take place as Gordon in. Hendrick and Kurt Busch, other 2 members of the top 3, also into their pit boxes. Ooh, contact there, and Jimmy Johnson gets into another incident. Got into Greg Biffle leaving his pit box. Goodness me, no brakes for the 48 car today. And Greg Biffle, with that hit, going to be stuck in his pit box for a while. Just tough brakes. Robbie Gordon wins the race off of pit road. Lap cars into the pits. Jimmy Johnson will pit again to fix up that right front. And Robbie Gordon leads the field. Bring you to intermission once again here from Nashville. Robbie Gordon still in the race lead. A lot of cautions early in this one. Back from intermission here at Nashville as we get set to get underway once again. Robbie Gordon in the 31 still leading. Second place belonging to Ricky Hendrick and Kurt Busch in third. Kevin Harvick will be fourth, and Casey Kane rounds out the top five in the 38 car as we get set to restart on lap number 32 here. Pace car in. Only about a third of this race completed. It's been a long one so far and an arduous affair. A lot of cars out of this race. But we are back green as Robbie Gordon leads the field across the line. Kevin Harvick jumps to the outside. Casey Kane will go to his inside. Everybody keeping things civil off of turn 2. Robbie Gordon out in first. Had another good restart, but Ricky Hendrick going to try to catch back up to him. Kurt Busch from third as well. Only 34 cars still left in this race. Elliott Sadler just got back on the lead lap. He is the last car on the lead lap in 30th at the moment. Battling back there nearly 3 wide. Bobby Labonte down on the bottom. Tony Stewart in that mix. Jason Keller also towards the top 10 right now. And will move into the top 10 as he moves up into 10th past Tony Stewart in the 42. McMurray trying to attack him. Stewart almost took it 3 wide. Battle between Atwood, Harvick, and Earnhardt Jr. Jason Leffler also here. This is for P5. As Earnhardt Jr. moves down. Casey Kane moved into third place in the 38. Yates looking fast in the race. We saw Mark Martin, a member of the top 10 for quite a while. Is a bit further back at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Down out in 20th. Had a good car early, trying to recover from some pit stop woes. Junior and Atwood fighting for 5th place. And Earnhardt gets it back around him on the outside. Kane and Kurt Busch fighting for 3rd still. And Kurt Busch will get back past the 38, though Kane with a huge run out of the corner with the crossover attempt. And he ducks underneath to try and counter move on the 01. Down into turn 3 this time. Kurt Busch way up out of the groove. And Casey Kane moves right back into third place. Saw some dust up there, if I'm not mistaken. Sure did. Gonna get a look back at this. Looking like a driver in the wall. That'd be the 07 car of Robert Presley. Looks like he got sent up into the fence. That was by Clint Boyer in the 4, who sent him straight up into the wall. And Presley kicking up some of the marbles. Tough for him. Was running fairly well at the time. Was inside the top 25 in 22nd before he got drop kicked into the fence. Johnson and Eric Norris up here. A little bit off of the pace with their damage, of course. About a half a second off or more, but we'll let them keep running at least for now. Ricky Hendrick and Robbie Gordon, 2 Chevrolets, have ran away at the front of the field. 40 laps completed at the line. And these two are way out in front of everybody else at the moment. Not really a contest right now. Kurt Busch and Casey Kane are still fighting for third place. Kane's teammate Earnhardt Jr. catching up from P5. Busch back around the outside of Kane to hold him off for third. Jr. might have a chance for fourth place on his teammate here. And he looks low. And will get underneath his teammate by the time they get into turn 3. Kane trying to find some traction on the outside. Dead heat between these two Fords down the front stretch. And into turn 1. Got cut off by Kurt Busch, but still cleared his teammate. Dale Jr. into 4th ahead of the 38. Casey Atwood slowly closing in to maybe make a challenge here in the top 5. Kane not giving up just yet. Still fighting for this 4th and maybe even 3rd position if either of these guys can get to Kurt Busch. Earnhardt Jr. back clear on the outside again. Kevin Harvick closing in on Atwood. That's for P6. Tight battle up front here. Atwood with a counterattack maybe, and he will duck underneath down the front stretch. Side by side as they enter turn 3 with Atwood on the bottom this time. Harvick trying to make the outside work and believe he will. And he does clear it. Now Jason Leffler with a chance to maybe try and challenge. And Atwood gonna spook Harvick up the track instead and slips right on past Harvick, way out of the throttle, got sideways. That allows Leffler to move into this battle. But he can't challenge, and now it's McMurray on the outside of the 00 to make up a position. Tony Stewart now into this mix. He couldn't get all the way to Leffler, who holds on to 9th. Stewart in 10th. Bobby Labonte just a little bit of a ways behind in 11th. Kane has dropped off of Kurt Busch, who is in 3rd. Ricky Hendrick hasn't let Robbie Gordon too far out in front, but the 31 car is still with a comfortable lead right now. Has been dominating this race so far. P5 belonging to Atwood right now, just in front of Earnhardt Jr. Jamie McMurray sits back there in 8th. 9th, now belonging to Bobby Labonte ahead of Tony Stewart. Jason Leffler has dropped out of the top 10 into 11th place. Jason Keller still having a solid second showing in Cup. He's in 12th place. And now into second place is Kurt Busch, who just got around Ricky Hendrick while we were looking away. Casey Kane is closing up. It's going to be a 3-car battle for this second spot. Hendrick back to move underneath the 01. And here's Casey Kane for third. Almost got all the way to Ricky Hendrick for the second spot. Couldn't quite get the nose underneath that 5. Busch with the run on the outside. Kane down on the bottom trying to stay with that 01. Ooh, close between those two as Kane goes for a second gasp. Dead heat off of turn number 2 this time. Halfway in the race. Kane still trying to get all the way past the 01. Kurt Busch not giving up on that outside. Has the run off of turn 4. Do not believe Kane will be close enough to try and dive underneath again in 1, but we'll see. He's going to try it, and he does get there again. But Busch clears him on the outside, leaving the corner. And now it's Atwood battling him for 4th. But he can't make that move happen, and here comes Kevin Harvick into the top 5. Right around the outside, robbed him blind, and he's into 5th. Ahead of ex-teammate, but Atwood not going to give up. Trying to get there, but couldn't quite make it happen. Now Dale Jr. with a big run out of turn 2. Atwood cuts him off. Jr. crosses him over. Hard under the brakes as Earnhardt into turn 3. And he moves up a place. Atwood might have a second try at this, though. Had a run down the front stretch, but he'll stay in line. But gets the run out of turn 2, set him up down the back stretch, and now Atwood will duck underneath. He's going to try for 6th place. Huge corner entry for that 30 car, trying to stay with the 88. Junior on the outside, Atwood on the inside. Casey stays with him, and he has that move not quite done. Earnhardt with a big run in the middle portion of the corner stays with him as they leave turn 2. McMurray can't figure out which way to go. Still side by side into turn 3. Junior way up the racetrack, and Atwood now has that move made. McMurray trying to fight with Junior for 7th. Couldn't stay underneath him. Everybody singles out. Here's the lap cars. And going to pull these two off the track. It will be the end of the day for Eric Norris and Jimmy Johnson, who just can't quite meet minimum speed, are a long way off the pace, and they will be pulled off the track. It'll be a DNF for Jimmy Johnson, 31st. Will be lower once he gets passed by these two lap cars to 68 and 4. 33rd will be his final finishing position, if I'm not mistaken. And pit stops. Scott Wimmer and Carl Edwards pulled in, and race leader Robbie Gordon is into the pits. Kurt Busch also came in, so Casey Kane stays out to lead a lap. As did Ricky Hendrick, so 3 of the top 4. All in on lap number 59, and the 5 actually had some engine trouble. Said he had some problems with the power there. So issues for Ricky Hendrick right as he came into the pits, was saying he was starting to drop down on power. See if they can get that situated while they're in the middle of this scheduled pit stop. Hendrick in. Robbie Gordon, race leader, 4 tires and fuel on that singular wireless Chevrolet, and he is away. And leaving the pit lane there in turn 2. Casey Kane made his stop. 4 tires and fuel, and a bit of a long one there for Kane on the release. That was a very long pit stop for Casey Kane. Fell all the way behind the 20 of Harvick. Rough pit stop for Kane. Not what you want to see at this stage in the race. Robbie Gordon back into the race lead. Kevin Harvick leaves the pit lane. In third, as Ricky Hendrick is absolutely nowhere to be seen thanks to that damage. Traffic ahead for Robbie Gordon is Greg Biffle in the 16 car. Fourth belongs to Casey Atwood, and Casey Kane rounds out the top 5. It's Harvick third, Kurt Busch in second place. Carl Edwards has dropped a lap thanks to some damage repairs. Earnhardt Jr. is in 6th. 7th belongs to McMurray. Jason Keller, a nice stop. He's into 8th. 9th is Tony Stewart, and Bobby Labonte rounds out the top 10 in the 18. Yeah, Hendrick just down power. It's this 5 car versus Nashville. He's had such fast race cars here the last couple of years, but just has had so many things not go his way. These 2 times at this track, it's been engine trouble for the 5 when he's looked like he's had one of the cars to beat. So a tough one for Ricky Hendrick takes him out of the running for a potential win today, and he'll have to settle for a back end of the top 30 finish. Biffle might catch him for position and probably will later in this race. Robbie Gordon, it's a big lead for this 31. He leads by 2.13 over Kurt Busch in second. Even further back is Harvick in third. So Gordon cruising at the moment inside the final 40 laps of this race now. Long way to go yet, but he's got a comfortable margin for first. Lap number 73 at the moment. It is 30 laps to go in this race as Robbie Gordon's going to lap the 5 of Ricky Hendrick. Might soon catch the 16 of Biffle as well, as Hendrick dropped a position to him a couple of laps ago. Not a lot of race left. It's 2.9. Make it 3 between Gordon and Kevin Harvick. As Robbie Gordon, who came so close to winning last week at Richmond, trying to set sail and cruise to the win here at Nashville to make it his 3rd of the season in a time where Jimmy Johnson was out of the race before it even was a race. Just lap number 2 that the 48 car made his exit pretty much. And should surefire put this 31 car into the championship lead, providing everything goes the way it has so far. Kevin Harvick is in 2nd place right now, moved past Kurt Busch, who now sits in 3rd. Casey Kane, you saw that battle on the onboard. He moves into 4th ahead of Atwood, who's now 5th. Issues for Carl Edwards, who's reporting a vibration on his race car. He is already mired back and lapped. It's 29th place for the 97. And he is a long, long way out of this race already, but having further issues despite the rough night so far. Robbie Gordon still slowly pulling that gap even larger to the 20 of Kevin Harvick, who sits in 2nd. And that 31 is on rails right now. Still believe there is at least one more pit stop left to come. Robbie Gordon came in on lap number 59 for his last pit stop. Not sure exactly when to expect the final. Gordon's still on the tire tracks of Greg Biffle, who could fall victim to being a lapper here in just a moment with that 31 on rails right now. Kevin Harvick, so close yet so far, as he is about to lap the 5 of Ricky Hendrick here. Hendrick just logging laps at this point, trying to get to the end of this race. And Kurt Busch will slip past him as well. Casey Atwood got back past Casey Kane. That was for 4th. Kane down to 5th again. It's Tony Stewart in 6th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in P7. Battle for 8th here. Here's McMurray underneath the 18. Bobby Labonte's kind of slipped backwards a little bit. And Jason Keller now in the mix, trying to take away 9th. And Bobby Labonte really just falling backwards on this long run. Bunch of cars got past him. Jason Leffler moved into the top 10 there. And he ducks underneath Keller to try to get 9th. And caution is out. Yellow flag flies, not sure what for. Late caution throws everything back into pandemonium. Let's get a look at what caused this yellow flag. Caution came out here. And do believe that was just a debris caution, yes. So caution comes out for debris late in the race, just outside 20 to go. Lucky Dog will be the 5. As we are under yellow flag conditions, just outside the final 20 laps, and everybody will be making their final pit stop here. Under this caution flag. Important stop here for everybody as Robbie Gordon leads the field in. Kevin Harvick in. Casey Kane into his box as well, looking for a better pit stop than last time. Robbie Gordon in. 2 tires for pretty much everybody here. And Kevin Harvick will beat Robbie Gordon out of the pits here. Race-changing pit stop, and Kevin Harvick's team puts everything together, and the 20 moves into first place. What a stop for Harvick. Taking an intermission, 20 laps to go and counting here from Nashville as Kevin Harvick moves into the lead late. Back from intermission here at Nashville as we get set to roll. Kevin Harvick leapfrogs ex-teammate Robbie Gordon for the lead on that pit cycle under caution. Important for him. Robbie Gordon will be in second place now. He's dominated this race, but now is in jeopardy of losing it. Kurt Busch will be in third, Casey Atwood fourth, and Casey Kane in P5. Pace car peels in. Kevin Harvick leads the field to the green, and we are back underway late here at Nashville. Gordon blocking Kurt Busch up the racetrack. Almost 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Gordon ducks underneath. And right back to the lead goes the 31 car. Kurt Busch looks for second. Casey Kane underneath Atwood for P4 in the background. Busch gets to P2. Kane looking for third now. Couldn't stay underneath the 20. Harvick holds on to P3. Leffler trying to move up into the top 5. 15 laps to go at the stripe for Robbie Gordon, who's trying to check out once again. 3 wide further back. Junior through on the bottom of 3 wide. Stewart trying to make an entrance into the top 5 late. Kurt Busch trying to catch up to Robbie Gordon at the end of this race. Kevin Harvick's not out of it either, and Casey Kane sits in fourth. This race is far from over. Busch a little squirrely there. Got way up out of the groove, but held on to second place. Trying to catch back up to that 31 of Gordon, who has not been able to pull away this time. Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick are there, but Robbie Gordon had the better corner exit. Kevin Harvick's going to try for second place. Gordon loving this in his mirror as he begins to pull away. Busch trying to get clear on the outside of Harvick, couldn't do it. Harvick gets him for second, but that opened up the gap for Robbie Gordon. Casey Kane into the mix for P2 and P3. Tony Stewart is into the top 5 in the 42. He sits in 5th, just got past Atwood a couple laps ago. Harvick trying to close the gap. Harvick searching for grip, trying to run a little higher. But Kurt Busch is going to try to pass for second once again. And almost got all the way to Robbie Gordon, who cuts him off. Harvick with a run down the backstretch. Tried to go to the outside. Now he goes to the inside. 10 laps to go. Busch back clear on the top line. Now he's the one with a chance to catch Robbie Gordon. 9 left here at Nashville. Harvick with a rough 1 and 2. Here comes Casey Kane for third place. Stuck it underneath him. Those two side by side. Going to allow Kurt Busch just to focus on the 31. And he is closing. But can he get there? Casey Kane moved into third. Battle is still for the lead. Tony Stewart has also closed up to the 20, and he will take away fourth place, at least for the moment. Stewart fighting with Kane for third now. A lot of pace late out of that 42. Kurt Busch still right on the back bumper of Robbie Gordon, trying to beat the dominant car of the night. Has the run out of turn 2, but just had to breathe the throttle. Got a little tight. Can he stay with him? Trying to find an answer. Has the run out of turn 4. Ducks underneath him on the front stretch, but Gordon blocks him, but couldn't block him enough. 5 laps to go. The 2 leaders side by side, and Kurt Busch is into the lead. Can Gordon counterattack? 4 laps to go. Robbie Gordon still on the bumper of Kurt Busch for the lead. Right up on the back of him. Gordon's there, headed towards turn 3. Does he try to make a move? He stays in line. couldn't close up enough to get the nose underneath, and now Kurt Busch pulls away out of turn 4. Three laps left. Robbie Gordon a better 1 and 2 that time. He's got to close back up, and even then he might only have one more shot at it if he can get there. Better exit by Robbie Gordon. He closes in more. 2 laps to go. But Busch better out of turn 2 that time. Robbie Gordon just a touch faster out of turn 4 that time. Last lap at Nashville. Does Gordon have anything left for Kurt Busch? Busch a little higher. Had the better run out of the corner that time. One last chance for Robbie Gordon in 3 and 4. Can he close the gap and get there? Gordon's got to run, but it's not going to be enough. Kurt Busch, Mr. Excitement the second. He wins it at Nashville. What a thriller. Kurt Busch never wins a dull race. And the 01 car wins it here tonight at Nashville. What a thriller here tonight. His second win of the season. And he takes down the dominant Robbie Gordon. Heartbreak for the 31, 2 weeks in a row. And Kurt Busch wins it with the late race pass. And what a battle for the win it was. And this was the race-winning pass with 5 laps to go. Gordon just couldn't quite block him, and Kurt Busch held him off in the second half of the corner despite the run, and Robbie couldn't quite get back up to him the rest of the way there. And it's Kurt Busch winning his second race of the 2006 season over the 31 of Robbie Gordon. Third place belongs to Tony Stewart. Fourth, Kevin Harvick, and Casey Atwood got in the top 5 at the end of it. Drops Casey Kane to 6th. And what a battle it was as Kurt Busch takes home his second win of the year. That'll do it for coverage here from Nashville. As Kurt Busch, a winner again this year, Robbie Gordon, for 2 weeks in a row, comes up short. It's a story of tragedy and triumph. As Kurt Busch takes home the victory. Next week, it'll be race number 15. It'll be Pocono for the DuPont 500 next week as we take it to 60 laps of Pocono next weekend. But that will do it here from Nashville as Kurt Busch. Back-to-back wins for the Busch brothers. Kurt Busch, his second win of the season. We'll catch you then on behalf of, well, just myself in the booth this time. But we'll see you then. I'm your host, Caden Reif, and as always, have yourself a good one.
It's a long way to the top.